Alright everybody, I'm going to show you my cool flight route poster map that I had custom made here off a website called FlightMemory.com. And this is a website you can go and put in all your flights that you've done in your life, and it'll actually map them out with all the airports and routes, linking everything together here. It's really cool. The guy that does this lives in Germany. His name's Robert Harrod, and he does a really good job. It's very, very detailed. And very nice guy too, based on the emails and stuff we were sending back and forth, getting everything put together with this. But yeah, you can choose to include certain stuff like some statistics and stuff on the bottom if you want, or you can just do the map. And you can leave certain stuff like the airport codes here. You can choose to put those in there, or just leave them as dots or whatever. And I chose to put the codes in just to know where everything's at. But here's the statistics I have on the bottom. I got the flight distance, the flight time, number of flights, and times around the world. Now, actually, these will actually be a little more because this doesn't include my most recent Florida trip in March, but that's just a little chunk. It's got everything international that I've done. But total flights is actually 230 because that Florida trip had 2 flights there, 2 flights back. But this is pretty much everything, just except that trip. And then all the airports that I've flown into and out of, 101 different airports. And then some airports that won't be listed are some ones I've done some skydives at over the years. These are ones listed that I've actually traveled to in and out of the airplane. The skydiving ones won't be included. Yeah, and I also got the airport codes listed to next to each airport as well. So we'll start up here in the United States. Born and raised Indianapolis, Indiana. Currently reside here in Lexington, Kentucky. Been in Lexington the last 9 years, so you'll see a lot of flights going in and out of Indy and Lexington here. And a bunch of flights all over the states that I've done. And then we'll head over to Europe here quite a few times, to Europe and back, as well as to Iceland there once. Iceland's a beautiful country. And you got London, Heathrow, Amsterdam, Paris, Charles de Gaulle, Rome, Prague, Budapest, all those. Been to Dubai 3 times. Dubai is one of my favorite places. Love to go back even again. Been there on a around the world trip twice. Once going eastbound, once going westbound. And most recently, right before COVID, did a Persian Gulf cruise up and down the Persian Gulf for about 12 days. That was fun. It was in February of 2020. Right before everything started with the pandemic. And then India, Sri Lanka over there. And then I've also done all the way down to the countries of Southern Africa here, South Africa, Mozambique, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Botswana. Long flight, about 10 hours to do the whole length of the continent there from Paris, Charles de Gaulle. And then also done Morocco for about a week, North Africa. And then this route that you see all the way on the top here, that's my longest flight ever done. Approximate flight time, 16 hours, 30 minutes, Los Angeles to Dubai. Basically takes you all the way up to the North Pole and then back down into Dubai here, 8,300 miles. And if you look here, my shortest flight, I'll show you here in a minute on the computer. That actually has my shortest flight, longest flight listed. Shortest flight I've done is about 20 minutes there between Charlotte and Greensboro. 20 minutes, I think about 83 miles. Very quick. I don't even think that got up to 10,000 feet. That was on a little Embraer, I think. And then the 16.5-hour flights didn't even seem that long, as it was on a beautiful Emirates A380. Very comfortable planes, very good service, lots of onboard entertainment. I mean, that 16.5-hour flight seems shorter than a 2-hour flight here in the States, just because the ones in the States here are so uncomfortable. So, yeah, that's why I like flying international. The service is so much better, especially on the big birds, A380s. And then we're down here to South America next. Got been there a couple times. First time we did all over South America. We did Ecuador, Peru, and Argentina. And then the second time to Ushuaia, did the Antarctica expedition cruise to the Falkland Islands, South Georgia. All around there for about 3.5, 4 weeks, and then a stopover in Brazil on the way back. So been to beautiful South America a few times. And then we'll head over here across the Pacific. All over the Pacific. And over here to Australia, been to Australia a couple times as well. I went on a high school trip in 2003, did Australia and New Zealand in one trip. And then in 2006, I did the study abroad for a summer. That was about a 7-week trip, longest trip I've ever done. And, did all of that, and then did Fiji on a stopover on the way back from that. And then I'd love to go to the West Coast. Haven't done any of the West Coast yet. Do Perth and Broome and all those places. And then Southeast Asia, Singapore, all up and down the peninsula there, with Malaysia, Thailand. Been to Thailand a couple times, Vietnam a couple of times, and then China and Japan on a trip. And then stop over in Hawaii on one of the round-the-world trips as well. You can see a short intra-island flight there, too. Like I said, very, very detailed with the routes and everything. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I've done 61 countries. Been to all 7 continents, 39 of the U.S. states. Hoping to add to this flight route map. I'll probably add to it to get it reprinted every now and then based on how much traveling I can do here in the future. Hopefully soon with the pandemic. Hopefully it'll settle down and be able to hop on these planes again and continue to add to these travel experiences. I haven't done much since that cruise. The cruise in February of 2020 is the last international trip that I did. So hopefully I'll be able to pick that back up here soon and keep going. But I'll show you one more thing here. This is actually a screenshot off of FlightMemory itself. It's got some more statistics and stuff that it actually keeps track of. It's got the more flight distances, a little more than what you see on the poster, because I have Florida added on here. So I have a hair more. Got the kilometers, times around the Earth, distance to the moon, distance to the sun, as well as flight time in hours, days, weeks, months, and years. And then domestic flights, all flights domestics, and then international, divides it up there. And here's where it shows the longest flight and the shortest flight. Quite a big difference there. And then the states, everything within the states there. And then the worldwide, all the routes there. But yeah, the poster's obviously more detailed because it prints out a lot bigger than what you see here. That's why I highly recommend printing out a poster, hanging it up on the wall. Looks really cool, especially if you're a big plane nerd, travel nerd like I am. It's also got the top 10 airports listed here that I've done. Top 10 airlines, top 10 aircraft, most common routes, and a few little additional things here. The total airports, airlines, aircraft types, and all that stuff too. But yeah, I highly recommend checking this out if you want to track your flights. I also have this in every flight I've done in a spreadsheet, an Excel spreadsheet as well. So, yep, check it out. FlightMemory. There's an overview of everything there.